Maintaining your GBB Airsoft replica is of great importance, not only for performance, but also to ensure that your replica continues to perform well for as long as possible, because a clean replica is a happy replica. Hey, and good to see you again at Krale Airsoft. When we talk about cleaning M4 GBBR replicas, or Gas Blowback Rifles, they can almost all be cleaned in the same way, with perhaps a small difference here and there. To be able to show you what the most important elements are to clean and lubricate properly, we have included a number of models from our range. The Tokyo Marui M4A1 MWS, the Umarex HK416A5, the KWA LM4D M-Lock, and the cybergun called M4A1 ROS. To properly treat these replicas, we will use the following products during cleaning and greasing: a cleaning cloth, foam cleaner from Interflon, 6mm cleaning pellets, a cleaning rod, a few cotton swabs, and finally Fin Super from Interflon to lubricate the system again. Other things you might have to use are a roll pin punch and a hammer. First, which is quite logical, make sure you remove the magazine from your replica and check that there are no BBs in the system. You can check the latter by pulling back the bolt and seeing if there's a BB in the hop-up. Then we press the rear body pin to tilt the upper and lower receiver apart. In some cases this can be done by hand, but it can also happen that it's very tight. In that case you can use a roll pin punch and a hammer to gently tap it out. If you now tilt the lower and upper slightly in relation to each other, you can push or tap the front body pin out, after which you can separate the two parts. This way you can reach everything more easily. Once you've separated the two parts, you can remove the bolt by pulling the charging handle backwards. This is the first part we are going to clean. Since the bolt is the part that suffers the most from the movement and impacts during the cycle, it's important to maintain it properly. The opening of the ejection port allows dirt to enter, which can accumulate and cause more wear. That is why we are going to clean the bolt with a foam cleaner to remove the dirt. You can also use isopropyl alcohol to clean it. You take the bolt and spray some foam cleaner on it. Then we take the cleaning cloth and wipe the bolt clean. Make sure you take all visible dirt off of it. If it's not completely clean after one go, you can of course repeat this process. When you've done this rough cleaning job, you can take a good look at the small cracks and the nozzle with a cotton swab and a little bit of foam cleaner. When cleaning the nozzle, make sure you pull it forward a bit and go over it with the cotton swab. In the case of the Tokyo Marui Z system, the nozzle also contains a separate part that can move forward and backward over the nozzle. It's wise to also clean below this, so keep this part pressed back for a moment and can easily clean around the nozzle. If we compare the bolts of these different replicas with each other, we mainly see the difference at the top, where the charging handle hooks behind the bolt. This doesn't matter much for cleaning, but if we take a look at the bottom, we see that the bolt of the Tokyo Marui also contains a bearing. It's also important to clean this part. Rotate the bearing while you go along it, and you're done. Now that we've cleaned the bolt, we can also clean the charging handle. It's important to clean the inner part through which the bolt moves, so that no unnecessary wear occurs. To get inside this properly, we also grab a cotton swab and spray some foam cleaner in and on the charging handle. Clean the inside with the cotton swab and you can grab the outside with the cleaning cloth. The charging handles of these different replicas all do the same thing, but have different lengths to fit the top of the bolt that corresponds with it. So these can all be cleaned in the same way. The bolt and charging handle of course move through the upper receiver, and some dirt can also accumulate here. You can easily wipe this away with the cloth and some foam cleaner if necessary. The next step is to clean the inner barrel. A lot of dirt can accumulate here unnoticed, and that can significantly affect the shots of your replica. Before you start, make sure you turn the hop-up adjustment all the way open. How this should be done with GBB replicas can differ per brand and per type. The Tokyo Marui has a small wheel at the top of the receiver. The KWA also has a wheel in the upper receiver, but in a different place. With the cybergun you have to remove the rail to get to the adjustment wheel, and with the Umarex you can use the mock gas adjustment to loosen the hop-up. As soon as you have the hop-up fully open, we take the cleaning rod and a cleaning pellet. We then place the cleaning pellet at the end of the cleaning rod. If you don't have this, you can also use an unjamming rod, which is included with a lot of replicas. Here you can place a small cleaning patch at the end. We then spray a little bit of foam cleaner on the pellet and gently go up and down the inner barrel, entering from the muzzle side. If you also want to clean the bucking in this process, you can also enter the barrel from the hop-up side. Please note that as soon as you get to the bucking, carefully go through it. This is because this part can be damaged or cracked rather easily if you handle it too roughly. It's also possible to not include the bucking during cleaning to make sure it doesn't get damaged. In that case, you stop just before reaching the bucking. You will be able to see how much dirt you remove with the cleaning palette. It's also useful to replace the cleaning palette once or twice so that you can clearly see when the inner barrel is clean, when no more dirt gets on the pallet. Once this is completely clean, we will proceed with the fire control group inside the lower receiver. As said, onto the lower receiver. Here the differences between the replicas become somewhat clearer, mainly the Tokyo Marui compared to the other brands, whereby the Umarex Cybergun and the KWA replicas all use a somewhat more realistic hammer. The Tokyo Marui uses a less realistic looking hammer and has a trigger group that is completely sealed. These parts generally suffer the least and will most likely also contain the least amount of dirt. To clean it, we take the cleaning cloth and the cotton swab to grab the finer and deeper parts. The hammers of the Tokyo Marui and the KWA also contain a bearing. Make sure you rotate it completely during cleaning so that no dirt is left behind, just like the bearing on the bolt. So now we've cleaned everything. You can also completely disassemble the replica to treat each part with the utmost care. But this is not always necessary and can even cause more problems with some replicas. For example, the closed trigger group of the Tokyo Marui. This is well sealed from the factory so that little dirt can enter and contains many small parts where you can quickly do something wrong. So, with everything we've cleaned now, your replica should be working perfectly again. But not, of course, before we have provided the necessary parts with a layer of grease or lubricant. To lubricate the parts, we are going to be using Interflon Fin Super. This is a so-called dry lubricant. This leaves a good lubricating layer that dries quickly and has a good bond. Also take a dry cloth to spread the lubricant well and be careful not to use too much, because the more lubricant that is on the parts, the faster it attracts new dirt. First we're gonna take the charging handle and drip a little lubricant in it and also a little on the outside. And we rub this in with the cloth. The part should eventually contain a small shimmering layer. Then we move on to the bolt. We actually do the same here. Make sure you lubricate the entire bolt and also the part of the nozzle that gets the most friction. Of course, you also have to dose this properly, because again, the more lubricated the part, the faster it attracts dirt. A thin shimmering layer is therefore often sufficient. Finally, we lubricate the fire control group, and as you guessed it, take the cloth, a little lubricant, and rub it in well. With the Tokyo Marui and KWA replica, make sure that you turn the bearing around while lubricating so that they get an equal distribution. Once you've done all this, all that remains is to put the replica back together. Place the charging handle inside the upper receiver, after which you can place the bolt in this charging handle and slide them both forward. Then put the upper and lower receiver back together and put in the body pins. What you can then do is move the bolt back and forth a few times with the charging handle so that the lubricant is well distributed. And you're done. If you're looking for the products we've used in this video, we've got links to everything we've had in front of us today in the description. In addition, you can of course also visit krale.shop for all other airsoft supplies you need. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.